Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and today is Casing Tuesday, and that's the day when we take a card out of one of our Stampin' Up catalogs and we give it a makeover. We have a great Facebook group for that, and you can join in. You can join the group, and we post the card every Tuesday morning. And then there's a bunch of us that go in and give that card a makeover. And so today I'll be showing you my makeover card. And today's layout is fairly easy. So let me share with you, first of all, the card that we chose. And let me go in. Which one is it? I think no. Yep, that's it. So this little card, it looks a little busy, so we'll take a look at the sketch in a moment. But there is a layer that, like a layer of paper in the background, and then there's a focal point layer on top. And you can tweak it a little bit. Like I'll show you my card in a moment, and I tweaked the layers a little bit. I made the background designer paper layer a little wider and a little shorter. And because this card was originally a note card size, I upped the size a little bit in terms of the white layer. Let's have a look. This is the sketch right here. And so this will give you an idea of the dimensions. So this white layer is about 3 inches, 3 1/8 inches by 4.5. And then this other layer is 4 inches by about 4.5 inches. So that will just kind of give you an idea of how to build your card. And these sketches and the photo will be available over on our website, our Facebook group, and they're also available on my blog. So if you click down in the description below and go directly to my blog, you'll also be able to get those images on there. And then you can use them to build your card. What I suggest you do if you're a beginner is cut all of those layers exactly as they appear on the sketch. Cut them out of computer paper, and then you can get a real life view of the size that you'll need, and you can practice stamping on those layers and practice substituting out. Sketch challenges are really awesome for beginner stampers because it gives you a starting point. And then for me, when you stamp for a while, you kind of get into a rut. So for me, it forces me to try a different look. And so I really appreciate having that as my Tuesday card making challenge. It's always fun to grab my supplies and see what I come up with each week. So I hope you enjoy it too. Good morning to everyone who's joined me. I'll be checking in with you at the end of the video because I'm very bad at multitasking. All right, so let me pop over to my card. Let me make sure I've got everything going, my videos. Check. Okay, so over here is my card. And look at this is the peaches are just so sweet, and I have really fond memories of peaches from growing up in Canada. We had a big peach tree in our front yard, and every year it would have like a bumper crop of peaches. And I was also mortally scared of the peach tree once the peaches ripened because they would draw in a lot of wasps, and I would run by the tree. And I think my family would laugh at me. I think I was the only one that would run by the tree. I had been stung in the past, and my mom would always say, "Well, Brenda, just stand still and they won't bite you." Of course, I had been stung just by standing still, so that kind of proved her point wrong. But anyway, it fond memories because the big peach tree, and my parents used to can those peaches, and so we could have them later on in the winter months. So it was quite the deal to have this peach tree in our front yard. So when I'm making this card, I think of my dad who passed away last year, because it was his dream to build this house. It was a little bit outside of the city, And it had this phenomenal view of Lake Okanagan and just gorgeous. And I grew up in that place, and I probably took it for granted. But anyway, the peach tree and my dad, and we just kind of brought back really fond memories. And so this card, "Have a Peachy Day," is just so sweet. The cute little greeting on there. And I'm going to show you how to make this card. It's pretty easy, but just the color, the orange, and like the happy pale papaya ribbon, it's so pretty, right? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Sweet as a Peach bundle. It's new in the catalog. It's only been out for about a week. Last week we started the catalog. And the Sweet as a Peach bundle comes with the stamp set and the die set. So they coordinate really nicely together. Today I am not using the dies, but I need to point out the dies because I would hate for you to just buy the stamp set and not realize that there's actually dies as well. And because when you buy them together, you save 10%. So if you're thinking of getting Sweet as a Peach, you may as well go ahead and get the die set as well, because I'll be using the dies in the future. Today I just decided to just stamp right directly onto my card. You could also, like, very easily, stamp the peaches and die cut them out and pop them up on dimensionals. So that would also be a really sweet look. And look at these cute little greetings. "Have a peachy day, sweet as a peach." It's just a very happy, wonderful set. Reminds me a lot of my dad. All right, and then we have this background layer, and these are called the Scallop Contour Dies. They actually are part of another bundle, but I decided just to get the dies. I will probably regret that. I'll probably end up getting the matching stamp set at some point, but at first I just didn't have the need for the stamp set, so I was like, well, then just get the dies because that you want them. And one thing I really like about these dies is they've got that little inner stitching on there. So you can see on here, you've got your scallop, and then you've got these tiny little dots that look like stitching on there. And it's just a very nice look to frame up your stamped artwork. Okay, so those, I just wanted to go over those products because they're kind of the big main products that we have on this card. Okay, I went ahead and I cut a piece of the, I cut a piece of basic white with the second largest Scallop Contours dies. Okay, I ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then I have my stamps, and I'm going to build a little scene on here. And I'll start off with anchoring the whole project with stamping the stem piece. And this works really nicely because you have the stem piece that will have spaces for your peaches. So I'll just grab, this is Pear Pizzazz ink. I'm just going to ink this up, tap, tap, tap. I don't squish down, it's tapping on the surface, because if you squish down, the ink will go everywhere. And the top of my stem will be up at the top. And then I'm just going to make a line straight down. Give it a nice little press. If you ever have trouble with your stamping, this is a fairly hard surface that I'm stamping on. I'm an experienced stamper, so I can do this. But if you have trouble getting a good impression on a hard surface, get yourself a Stampin' Pierce mat. We sell them in the catalog, and you can use that. And this is just, it's a foam surface, but it's not like super soft, but it's just enough give to it that it will help you with your stamped images. So let me put this aside. We'll need it one more time. And then I'm going to grab my new ink pad. This is a new ink color we have. It's called Pale Papaya, and it makes nice little peaches. So just open that up and grab my peach stamp, ink it up. So you'll want to, with this, make sure you've got your peaches oriented in the correct way. And you'll look at the little peaches and you'll see a little divot at the top of the peaches, and that's going to face up. So that will be your clue which way to turn your stamp. You'll see right up at the top here, you kind of see a little mark. That means that that's the top of the stamp. And then you're going to look for the spaces. So that top one, easiest to do this while standing up, is going to match that stem. So you're going to match your little divots with the stems as they come down. Okay, so I'm kind of matching things up, giving them a little turn, and then stamping them down into place. Okay, so it's pretty easy. And then we've got this space down here, so that's a perfect space to put a greeting. So I love "Have a Peachy Day." It kind of just makes me smile, that greeting. And so I'll just kind of place that right down here like that. It really is a lot easier to stamp on one of these mats. Okay, let's move this out of the way. And let's close this up. So that's all the stamping. It was pretty easy. And then we're going to take some paper. This matches the suite. It's called You're a Peach designer paper, and it's just got really happy, look at that, happy peach designs, just happy nice oranges and greens and blues. Just makes me think of a summer day where I grew up. And then we'll take Pear Pizzazz, since we use the same color ink. Also, and I know you probably already know this, on the back of our paper, it lists the colors that are in the paper. So I grabbed the paper and I just looked at what the colors were, and I'm using those to design the card. So Pear Pizzazz was one of the colors. So I cut myself a card base 11 inches by 4 1/4 and scored in half at the 5 1/2 inch mark. And then just smooth that down. And then I grabbed some paper. I decided to go with a neutral design. So, you know, you could go really busy if you want to. But I like the neutral background better. That's just, it suits me better. But that's the nice thing about our papers. We usually have kind of a more neutral design on one side and a more busy pattern on the other side. So this piece measures 4 1/4 by 3 5/8, and I'm just gonna put this on the card right here. You know what I noticed? Sometimes when I cut, just depending on how I cut, this piece of paper has a little bit of extra on the side. Let me grab my trimmer. So that's why it's always good to kind of, before you glue something down, line it up on your paper. On my card, I went the full width of the paper. The sketch originally made this piece a little narrower, but I wanted to go the full width. So let me just cut like a little bit off the edge here. I think that will be good. And that will just hopefully line up. See, that lines up so much better. There's no overhang. There was just about maybe a 1/16 of an inch of paper. That was a little bit too much for my paper. So then I'll go ahead and add just a wee bit of Tombow. I don't want to go and put too much on there because, you know, glue will cause your paper to warp just a little bit. Okay, and then I'll just line that up with the bottom. And then I'll take some of this pale papaya ribbon. And this ribbon, especially this color, it's a very pale color. if you like this ribbon but don't necessarily want to dye it with Stampin' Blends, this would be a good one to dye with Stampin' Blends because it's such a light color. This ribbon also comes in other colors. This is all of our new in colors: soft succulent, evening evergreen, fresh freesia, and polished pink. So you have all those colors. But what if you want a different color? And this is the pale papaya. What if you want, let's say you want a blue and you want to match or dye this blue. This pale papaya is the color that I would dye because it's very light. In fact, let me just grab, I'm just gonna dye the end of it. Oh, shoot, my blends are hiding behind my laptop. I'm reaching over top. Let me just show you that you could dye this. Grab a scrap piece of paper and Stampin' Blends, and then I'm dyeing this. This color right here is, I believe, Night of Navy Light. Okay. So have a look right here. Your color is now blue. So this is so light that it's the perfect ribbon for dyeing as well. So pale papaya is a pretty color, but just think of the possibilities you'll have if you can dye it. All right, we'll cut that blue piece off in just a moment. When we angle cut this, let me give myself a little bit of extra so I have enough to cut off. And I'm going to just wrap this around my card and do that first initial knot over on the side. And then I'll take my locking tweezers. I got these at a craft store. And then they're in the beading section. They lock when you release them, so they're perfect for tying. And grab my ribbon cutting scissors. And we'll just tie a little bow right here. I'm sure that blue ribbon's distracting everyone. It's distracting me. Okay, so now got that down, and now I can come in and just angle cut this. Bye-bye blue ribbon, but it was really cute, right? And then we'll angle cut this side. Okay, that one's a little long now. All right, so the card's coming together, and now I'll take this and I'm gonna adhere it to the card. And I'm gonna kind of come up, there's gonna be a little bit more space down below than up top, just because that's the way this card was designed. Trying to kind of keep it centered. Uh-oh, I got a green smudge down here, but you can barely see it. I don't know where I picked up green. I got a green thumb. Sometimes ink, I don't know, maybe it was on my, I don't know. It got on my hands somehow. All right. So now we just need to add some genial gems. Genial gems. I don't know. I don't know because the English language has too many ways of pronouncing things. So I'll just grab one of these green ones, and I'll pop one down here. Grab one of the smaller ones. The genial gems work really well with this suite. And I'll grab one of these ones, put it up here. Just nice color combinations with these. Just really pretty for the summer. Okay, and I think that's it. Well, you know what? It is it, but I decided that maybe we should decorate the inside of the card because this was fairly simple. So what I did was I cut myself another one of these layers. This is the largest one, and I gave it a little cut. And I thought maybe we should stamp a peach on here too, right? So I thought maybe we'd grab the big peach. Look inside this stamp set. So when these dies came, they came, not dies, stamps, they came on these clear plastic sheets like they used to. But now we've got a print out of the stamps on here on the actual paper that comes the cover piece. And so we no longer stick them back onto these sheets. We stick them onto right here, onto the case actually. So it makes removing the stamps a whole lot easier. So I wanted to show you that. So I'm going to grab the peach. And I guess we're going to have to use, let's see. Okay, I'm going to put it on a B block. I have another project going and all my C blocks are in use. So here's my peach. And then I'm going to grab the leaves. And I thought I should just stamp this peach down here at the bottom. And grab the leaves. I haven't actually stamped with this stamp yet, but I just want to add that right there. So you can have fun and create little scenes on the inside of the card as well. Have a peachy day, and then you can write your little greeting on there. So I want to leave some room for, you know, writing a message. So I'm not going to stamp anything else. Just put a little tombow on here. And we'll add that right into the card. And this is the layer right here. So doesn't that look pretty for the inside, using one layer on the outside and then a different layer for the inside? And pretty easy as well. With just 2 steps, you've created a nice bigger peach. So there's the card. Fun, huh? All right, I hope I get to see what you come up with later on. And let's go and say hello to some people this morning. Good morning, Karen and Ellie and Deborah and Amy. Karen's watching from an appointment. That's fun. Do something to amuse yourself while you have to wait, right? Good morning, Connie. Karen, you're right. This sketch is really nice, isn't it? It's a nice, easy sketch to use. Good morning, Bev. Thank you, Karen. I'm so glad you like the card. Thank you, Kimberly. I'm glad you think the card is simple and pretty. It's nice to have cards in your arsenal that are not always the hardest cards. We do need really over-the-top cards too, but sometimes it's nice just to have a nice, simple design to use with your stamps that you can put out really quickly, right? Good morning, Janine. Good morning, Christy. I'm glad you love the card. Oh, you just got the stamp set? That's great. I hope you enjoy it. The peach bundle is definitely really like a perfect thing coming up summer. We don't have peaches here yet. We just started getting, you know, all green here, but it is just a happy stamp set. Good morning, Sue. I love the, Amy says, I love the dies for your white layer. What is the name again? So, Amy, these dies are called the Scallop Contours dies. They are part of a bundle. Let me grab my catalog. Let me grab it. They are part of a bundle, and I actually did not get the bundle, but I really wanted the scallop dies, and I was debating, actually the bundle's really cute too, but I just didn't feel like getting the stamp set, so I didn't. I got the dies. So let me just switch cameras again. So right here on page 158, we have the Scallop Contours dies, and they are part of the Color and Contour bundle. And that one is on page 98. So let's have a peek over on page 98 so you can see what the bundle looks like too. Some people have done some cute things with the bundle, which, you know, then you're always like, oh, why didn't I get the bundle too? So in addition to all these beautiful scallop layers, you get a nice scallop edge, which is always useful. And then you get these two dies which cut out the flower head and then this flower here as well. This is good too if you're not into coloring. You've got these watercolor images that you can like stamp right over top of the flowers. So, you know, I don't know, down the road I'll probably end up getting the stamp set too. But for now, if you just like, you know, the scallop layers, this is just a really nice set for creating layers on cards. All right, I'm coming back with my face. Here I am. Thank you, Sue, for sharing my video. I hope you guys all have a great day. If you're looking for any of the supplies that I used today, just go down below in the description of this video. I have a link directly to my blog with a supply list. Join our facing casing group. It's called Casing Tuesday group. Please join that, and then you'll be able to copy cards with us. I have the latest thread up already for the day, and you can grab the sketch off of that group, and you can go and make your card and then come back and post it. It's always fun to see what everyone does with each of the sketches. This month, the month of May, I have a host code gift of the month. So if you spend $50 with me, you will get the animal print embossing folder. I love this embossing folder out of all of the different ones in the catalog. I didn't have an animal print one yet, so I thought that one would be fun, and it's good for other uses besides animal print. It's a nice, even overall texture, so I'm sure you'll find uses for it other than just using it with animal cards. All right, guys, I hope you have a great week, and I will see you later on this week. Take care. Bye-bye.